Well, hello and welcome. I'm Peggy. And yes, we're in the kitchen, but we don't have any food to share with you today, but we have some absolutely gorgeous pottery and two really beautiful artists, a mother-daughter, and I'm so pleased to have you here. This is great fun to share the beauty of your work with other people, and I'm so proud to introduce Jill Warner and also Jeanette Terry, and that's a mother-daughter business that you've gone into, and you're both beautifully talented people. Thank you for coming and sharing with us today. It's called Stone Lotus Pottery, and you're located here in the upstate of South Carolina?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Okay. And you do craft shows and things all around?
We do. We do some in the Greenville area and the Anderson area, and then we also have an Etsy shop with online sales.
Okay.
Pendleton too, don't forget.
Oh yes, and Pendleton in the spring.
Okay.
So yes, all around the
Don't
upstate.
leave anybody out.
Yes.
No.
And tell us about your work and how this all came about.
Oh, how about you start with the beginning?
If I was to go back a ways, I always was interested in art growing up, and I was always doing things with my hand and crafts and taking art classes, whatever. I ended up, as one might expect, as an art major in college.
Okay.
And I enjoyed every aspect of it. I did only do a portion of my work with ceramics, because when you go to a liberal arts college, you do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
And I kind of thought it was special. And then when I got out of school, I ended up teaching art for high school students, which was challenging to say the least, although they did enjoy clay. And then moved on, I don't know if it was unfortunate or not, with my husband into our own business. We were the Warner Painting Company. Okay. And for maybe 30 years did that. And then I returned to pottery. So I had it in my roots, I'd studied it. I just did some refresher type courses, and I was kind of off and running, and have been for what, about the last 8 to 10 years?
About 10 years now.
Yeah, you're right.
She got back into taking some classes after I went to college, and I guess she had a little more free time. And she took a few classes, loved it, was making enough that we were giving it to family and to friends as gifts. And then there came a point where we had more than we could just give away, and we thought, well, let's see if we can sell this to others. And we started with our website and with some online sales, and then the craft shows from there.
And so you do craft shows. So some people may have already seen you at a craft show. Here in this area, or do you travel a lot?
We stay within driving distance of Greenville for now. So we've done Greenville, Anderson, and Pendleton.
All right.
And Simpsonville. That's right.
Okay.
And Simpsonville, yes, that's
well,
right.
Well, these are just beautiful, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about. Let's start. May I start with the cross?
Okay.
This is so precious. Yes. She had these on the table, and this one is in the raw, kind of, right? And this one is what it looks like when it's complete.
Yes.
Is that?
It's correct. I can say just a little bit more for you. This there's different color clays and clay bodies. This one happens to be a red clay. It's called Brooklyn Red, but that's just its name. And when it's fired at about 1800 degrees, it turns out this very hard bisque surface. Now, it's not as pretty in that state. It needs a dressing, so to speak, and that's where the glazing comes in. This color clay as a cross with white glaze sprayed on it will look like that as the finished product.
That's really lovely.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to start. That's beautiful.
Okay.
So now tell us about some of the things you brought.
Well, to continue with the ornaments, the crosses were the first ornament that we introduced. And just, I mean, it speaks to someone's faith, and it's been very popular through the years, as whether it's a gift of remembrance, a gift for a friend. But then we went on and did angels, and so you can share the same thing with the angels. We do.
Let you hold it, Peggy. You're having fun with that.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I love to.
This is again something that's bisque fired, but it's white clay. And so white clay with a glaze, and this is called Robin's Egg Blue, gives you a clean, crisp color. And that sort of turquoise blue color has been very popular as well. So we've done these angels for quite a few years. And then
and these you could hang on a Christmas tree?
Absolutely, or even as a wall hanging, but typically on the Christmas tree.
All right.
And then each year we try to introduce a new shape to do something new, and we have done stars, larger stars, and there's some down here on the table in front. And we tend to get inspired from a variety of places. We happened to be in Disney World 2 years ago, saw this star done in a carved wood design on one of the many trees at Disney, and decided that we should use that as some inspiration for something that we could do in clay, and we loved the result. And then we also later introduced other shapes. There's some doves, and then what we call our miniature ornaments. They just make sweet little package toppers or children's ornaments. Right. Yes.
These make great gifts and remembrances, and you know, something people can enjoy and keep.
And we have people that come see us year after year and want to add to their collection. So maybe they gave angels to all of the women in their Bible study or in their choir, and then they'd like to give a cross one year or a dove another year, or for their own collection, they keep adding to them. And it's very special to see people come back and tell us how much they love the items.
Now, you actually appear in some craft shows.
Yes.
We are live bodies there, yes, very much so. We interact with the public. We obviously, if I can go ahead and say this, we set up sometimes as early as 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, because the show may open at 9 or 10, and they don't want you to be setting up after that, of course. And when the first people come by, they say, "How are you doing?" And I say, "Great," because I'm all done with the setup.
Yes. Well, we do enjoy shows, because we opened this as a website for online sales. And it's wonderful when you're selling something and maybe someone from Australia or New Zealand is ordering it. That's exciting. But then there's something that's special about meeting people in person and getting to talk about your pottery, getting to talk about how it's made, maybe that person telling you who they're going to give it to, or how they want to use it in their home. And that special connection can only be done in person. So we do like to have both.
So yours is really a personalized kind of business.
I think handmade lends itself to that.
Yeah, it does.
Each piece is unique, and I think people just absolutely love that.
What is this? I can't reach that. Can you reach that?
Well, I could put my hand. You don't want me to move it, though.
Whatever you want to do. I want to show it.
Oh, that's right. I can pick it up. Okay, I have to remember that. Okay, as you may have guessed or not, there are holes in this bowl. And I've actually had people at shows say, "Do you know that bowl has a hole in it?" And I say, "Yes, and for good reason. It's essentially a ceramic colander. It's popular when berry season comes, and berries come at different times in the year, that people will put their fresh berries after they've been washed in a bowl like this. It can breathe, obviously having the holes in there, and drains out into the tray that you see right down here. And it just adds a very nice touch to your counter. It makes everything that you put in it look especially appealing. Since I have this in my hand, there's two other things I could mention. Different ways of designing can be an applique or carving something. In this case, it is an applied band that you put on here, and then this special design that's done in 4 different places. Shows how involved I guess it can get. And
it looks like a heart, but
yeah, it does. It does. I agree. And then you can see there are multiple glazes on here. This is kind of a creamy glaze. It's called a hot textured chowder, which I think is an interesting name. And then I have 2 different shades of blue on there. So a number of things go together to make this piece. And this particular glaze has become very popular with people. I think part of it, well, it's a very expensive glaze. Maybe people are drawn to things that cost money and they don't even realize it sometimes. But it's such a natural looking glaze, this textured chowder. It can blend with almost anything else you already own. And that's what people like.
I think also this piece really speaks to what we started with. Taking something functional and something that you use, a colander, and making it unique, making it something beautiful that can sit on your counter and be a piece of art, yet still serve a purpose. And almost all of the pieces that we create, we give them a name for something that we've
Yeah,
intended them
Jeanette,
for.
tell us what some of these things. What?
These 2 plates over here are deviled egg plates, and in the South, they have quite the following.
Deviled eggs are sacred in the South,
Yes,
aren't
and
they?
the plates that they are served on. Many women will come and purchase one, and they have multiple in their collection. And again, Mom spoke about this, that these are great examples of an applied design or an applique. Each of these leaves on these 2 designs has been hand applied, and then it's a multiple step glaze process to get the colors. Yes, oh, and they are carved as well, too.
They're carved as well, both.
Yeah, and then where the berry bowl has been done on the wheel, so something that is round done on the wheel, these 2 elements, or these 2 items were done as a flat slab of clay that is hand built and formed.
There's really, the sky's the limit.
Oh, gosh,
Whatever
yes.
you want to do.
Oh, yes.
I mean, here you have angels, right?
Yep.
Look at that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these make great Christmas gifts.
Yes.
Because it's
Well-
something people can keep and hang on the tree every year.
We just recently, I think I'll mention the California thing.
Sure.
Yes, we just recently had someone contact us on stonelotuspottery.etsy.com, and they asked about these angels. Could we do them in purple? And I thought that was interesting, and the answer is yes. And they said we would like to begin by ordering 25 of them. And we have an organization that
Yep.
when someone loses someone to cancer, we do want the family to have something from us.
How lovely.
Yes, and so it made it a little more special when we were making them, knowing what they were going to be used for, not just to adorn someone's tree. So I thought that was neat. Yeah.
Yeah, you really have quite an outreach that you didn't even plan on when you started all of this.
No, we did not
We're
plan
going
on
to go
that.
to a quick break, and don't go away because we have lots more to share.
Okay.